Why do so many of us feel so powerless? We chase the success, we look for strength in other people, we try to control everything around us, and we end up feeling like we're at the mercy of our circumstances. We work hard, we grind, but that deep, solid feeling of being in command of our own lives is always out of reach. But what if that whole approach is wrong? What if true power isn't something you find out there, but something you build in here? What if the strength you've been searching for isn't in a new job or a new city, but it's already inside you, waiting to be unlocked? Let's discuss the framework of power. Everything you've been taught about finding your strength is based on an illusion, the idea that power comes from the outside. We're taught to look for it in likes on a screen, in approval from a boss, in the number in our bank account. But that kind of power is fragile. It can be gone in a second. True, lasting power is an inside job. It's the quiet confidence that's still there when everything external is stripped away. It's the calm in the middle of your storm, the voice that says, I can handle this, when the world is screaming that you can't. After years of studying scripture, psychology, and the most resilient people, I found this inner power isn't some mystical gift. It is a skill you can build. For me, I've seen that it stands on three core dimensions: the psychological, the spiritual, and the practical. When you master these three areas, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and you start becoming the architect of your reality. You can build an inner fortress that no external event can shake. This is the blueprint to your most authentic and powerful self. Master of your inner kingdom. The first and most foundational level of inner power is the psychological. This is your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs, your inner conversation. Most people are not in control of their own minds. They are controlled by them. Their inner world is a chaotic storm of self-doubt, criticism, and fear. To build inner power, you must become the master of this inner kingdom. Mastering your mind begins with radical self-awareness. It's about shining a light into the corners of your own mind and understanding what's really driving you. It's knowing your values, your fears, and what you truly believe. The psychologist Carl Jung had a powerful concept for this called integrating the shadow, accepting those parts of ourselves we deny or dislike. Real power isn't pretending you have no weaknesses. It's having the courage to acknowledge them, understand them, and bring them into the light. This is how you stop needing the approval of others and build deep psychological resilience. Your reality is shaped by the stories you tell yourself. As the speaker Tony Robbins often says, the only thing that's keeping you from getting what you want is the story you keep telling yourself. If you believe you are unworthy, you will unconsciously sabotage your own success. If you believe you are not capable, you will never take the risks you need to take for growth. Your mindset isn't just part of the game, it is the game. So, how do we start mastering this inner world? It starts with a simple, direct practice. The practice, the accountability mirror. There's a powerful practice for this, made famous by David Goggins. It's raw, it's honest, and it works. Each day, stand in front of a mirror and have a completely honest conversation with yourself. No filters, no excuses. Ask, did I live by my values today? Where did I let fear make my decisions? What story am I telling myself? And is that story serving me? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about radical honesty. It's about knowing your own thought patterns so well that they no longer run on autopilot. When you make the unconscious conscious, you take back your power from the random, reactive thoughts that used to run your life. You begin to choose your mindset, building up your inner fortress one honest thought at a time. Pillar 2, our spiritual being, connecting to God. Once you start to master your mind, you must connect it to a deeper source of strength. This is the spiritual level. For me, this is about connecting to God. It's about finding your purpose and hearing that quiet, knowing part of you that's underneath all the noise of your mind. It's understanding you are part of a greater whole, which gives you a deep sense of direction and peace. When you stop living for their approval and start moving from how God thinks about you, you thrive. So many people are operating from a place of spiritual emptiness. They live in their heads, disconnected from their intuition and their purpose. This leaves them feeling hollow and always looking for the next thing to fill that void. Spiritual power is turning your focus inward and cultivating your connection to your core. Think of it like this. Most people have their frequency tuned to the static of the world. The news, social media, what other people think. They are constantly reacting, and their emotions are dictated by outside events. Cultivating your spiritual power is about changing the station. You consciously tune your frequency to inner peace and presence. When you do this, you can stay centered even when the world is chaotic. You move from a state of pressure to a state of power. This is not about being passive. It's about being so rooted in who you are that you can act with wisdom and composure instead of reacting with fear and anxiety. The practice, the anchor of presence. This is a simple practice you can do anywhere. The next time you feel overwhelmed or lost in thought, just stop for 1 minute. Close your eyes and bring all of your attention to one physical sensation. It could be your feet on the floor, the feeling of your breath, or a sound in the room. Don't fight your thoughts. Just let them be. When your mind wanders, gently guide your focus back to your anchor. This simple act trains you to step away from the chatter in your head and drop into the stillness of now. The only reality you have is the present moment. When you practice living in the present, you stop wasting energy on the past or worrying about the future. In that stillness, you can hear your own intuition. You connect with that deeper part of yourself. You remember who you are underneath all the noise. If this is resonating with you and you want to continue this journey, take a moment to subscribe. We're building a community of people who are committed to unlocking their true potential from the inside out. Now on to Pillar 3, the practical level, the bridge to the world. The first 2 levels, psychological and spiritual, are about your inner world. But that inner power is incomplete if it doesn't change how you live. This is the practical level. This is where discipline, action, and real-world results come in. It's the bridge between your inner state and your outer life. Power is not a feeling. It is an action. It is doing what you say you will do, especially when it's hard. It's the discipline to show up for yourself every single day, even when you don't feel like it. While your mindset and your spiritual connection are the foundation, it is consistent, disciplined action that builds the structure of a powerful life. A lot of people get stuck here. They journal, they meditate, they think positive thoughts, but their life never changes. Why? Because they don't take action. They wait for the fear to go away. They wait for the perfect moment. But your decisions, not your conditions, are what shape your destiny. Truly powerful people don't wait for perfect conditions. They decide to act. And by acting, they change their conditions. They know that fear isn't a stop sign. It's a compass pointing them towards where they need to grow. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting in spite of it. Even how you carry yourself matters. There's real science to this. You may have heard of Amy Cuddy's work on how confident postures can actually make you feel more powerful. Taking care of your body, creating routines, and organizing your environment are all practical steps that reinforce the inner work you're doing. The practice. The one-day contract. The idea of changing your entire life is overwhelming, so don't. Just focus on winning today. Create a one-day contract with yourself. Write down 1 to 3 promises you will keep to yourself today that move you toward the person you want to become. This isn't a to-do list. These are promises. It could be, I will go to the gym even if I'm tired, or I will spend 30 minutes on the project I've been avoiding. At the end of the day, look at your contract. Did you honor your word? If you did, you just proved to yourself that you are someone who keeps promises to themselves. You won the day. And tomorrow, you make a new contract. This builds unstoppable momentum. It builds resilience by proving you can push